Do you still have unripe tomatoes? It's October, and if your region is like ours, the garden is winding down as temperatures drop. I'm Marcy McDonald from Pacific Northwest Suburban Homesteading. Today, I'm going to talk about how I manage my late tomato harvest. I grow a lot of tomatoes of a few different varieties. I grow two general purpose varieties, Early Willamette and Early Girl. We have a relatively short growing season, so I like the early types. Most of our area is listed as Zone 9A according to the USDA Plant Hardiness Zone map. We are at a higher elevation and are firmly in Zone 8B, which means our growing season starts a little bit later and ends a smidge earlier. The Early Girl and Early Willamette varieties make great eating tomatoes, but also work well for sauce. My main varieties are Ripening, a Roman-style paste tomato, also known as plum tomatoes. I recently added in the plum regal paste because I like to have more than one kind in case of disease, etc. And they have excellent flavor. Scott likes to have breakfast in the garden, grazing the tomatoes, strawberries, and peppers. I grow sugary hybrid cherry tomatoes for him because he loves the sweet, small cherry types. I don't grow the big slicers, though my mother-in-law does. They contain a lot of water, and I mostly make sauce out of what does not get eaten fresh. Strangely, I'm not a fan of raw tomatoes unless they are part of a tasty salsa. Even Scott can only eat so many tomatoes. Mom has had good harvests with the venerable beefsteak and mortgage lifter kinds. Is there a way to improve your harvest? I recently learned about a way to encourage the plants to put as much of their energy as possible into ripening the last tomatoes. My sister Jen suggested topping the plants, cutting off any excess leaves and branches, and removing any immature fruit and flowers that have no chance of producing usable fruit. A quick look online yielded many websites that recommend this practice, but not one of the kinds of authoritative ones I like to reference from my videos. I'll have to look into this more over the winter and see what I find. It's indeterminate, so it'll just keep getting taller and taller. So, let's see what happens. It makes logical sense. I usually prune my plants to remove suckers, parts of the plant that are touching the dirt, and remove extra foliage, especially from the inside of the plant. It's really hard to actually cut off potential fruit, but there just isn't time for it to ripen enough to turn red on the counter. It helps air circulation to prevent rot and disease. It should make it a lot easier to actually find the fruit when we need to pick it. The extra leaves cut out. Suckers. For years, I just stuffed the branches inside the tomato cage. They'd have to reach in and kind of feel around for the fruit. This works much better. Yeah, well, that's probably good enough. I probably should have done this a couple of weeks ago. Well, it's still worth trying. Here are my newly topped and trimmed tomatoes. I ended up removing a lot more foliage than I expected. Now time will tell if it helped or not, assuming that the weather holds. Okay, so you planted tomatoes and perhaps topped them late in the season. Now the critical questions are when to harvest and will your tomatoes ripen if picked early? Whenever possible, I prefer to let tomatoes reach full ripeness on the plant. This isn't always possible, unfortunately. I recently had a bunch of almost ripe tomatoes fall off in heavy rain. Many also fall off from wind or just jostling the plants while pruning or harvesting other tomatoes. This late in the season, many of the green tomatoes will not have time to ripen. Any fully mature tomato should ripen even if it is completely green. If they look like they're about the same size as a mostly ripe tomato of the same variety, I'll bring them in. Don't really have anything to lose. If they ripen, then I'll have more tomatoes to use. If they don't, then I'll compost them, which is what would have happened anyway. Commercial growers picked their tomatoes at the breaker stage. the stage when they have at least some red. I've included a link to an excellent article from the Penn State Extension Service that defines 6 stages of tomato ripeness if you want more information. For our purposes, we just have to know if any tomatoes we bring inside will ripen. At the breaker stage, tomatoes are considered vine ripened and will allegedly have full flavor. Tomatoes naturally produce ethylene gas, which ripens them. If you want to speed up ripening, keep a banana or mostly ripe tomato with the ones that are not ready. Commercially, they pump gas into the storage area to bring the tomatoes to redness. This could be why nothing tastes quite as good as homegrown. Also, the variety may be a factor. You can grow heirloom and other better tasting tomatoes at home, whereas commercial growers generally use ones that travel well and store well. These are probably not the same variety of tomatoes. Anyway, as the season grows late, rain and wind are more of a hazard in addition to the risk of frost. The rainy season will start here soon. I consult the weather report daily to watch for rain and frost warnings. Here you can see a snapshot of the weather here on October 1st. It is 81 degrees Fahrenheit right now, but it gets down to the 40s at night. And rain is in the forecast for Friday. Then it will be nice again. This is pretty typical. Many gardeners choose to bring in everything that is likely to ripen and store them inside. Here you can see the damage from an unexpected rainstorm. The thunderstorm come through here, and you can see that it did affect my tomatoes, some to a lesser degree than others. We have some that are pretty bad, like I'll probably end up having to discard that one because the rock got in it. This one's probably okay. That one we'll see when I cut it open. And then some of these just ended up where they sealed up again, so there aren't a problem. I generally wait until rain looks like it's going to be steady or a frost warning is issued. There is merit to bring everything in early though. Do what works best for you. Online extension service guides suggest that you store your tomatoes in a cool location with newspaper layered on the bottom and top of the tomatoes. Store them stem down and not more than 3 layers deep. This is to help preserve the humidity so the tomatoes don't shrivel up if the conditions are dry. Check often to remove any that spoil to preserve the rest. Don't store tomatoes in the refrigerator because they will not turn red if kept below 50 degrees Fahrenheit. As for me, I simply give tomatoes a good wash and lay them out on a towel in my kitchen. I haven't found it to be necessary to use more elaborate methods. If you have a large amount of tomatoes, it may be more relevant for you. I took a picture of last year's final harvest. You can see that there's actually visible ripening over just 3 days. Once you've harvested your tomatoes, what are you going to do with them? I use them in batches as I have enough ripe ones. As I've mentioned a time or two in this video, I make sauce. I also freeze some to make sauce later, especially if I have a bunch and I have too much other stuff going on. Late season tomatoes often have thicker skin and are a bit spotty. They aren't quite as good fresh, but still edible. This doesn't bother Scott in the least. He eats lots of my tomatoes as they ripen. There are lots of ways to use fresh tomatoes. I'm guessing you wouldn't be growing them if you didn't have ideas as to their uses. If you want information on making sauce, I have 2 videos on the channel about making tomato sauce. One is making sauce on the cooktop from fresh tomatoes. The other utilizes frozen tomatoes and slow cookers. As always, there are links in the description. I've also included links in the description from the extension services I consulted. The one from South Dakota State University hopefully includes recipes for using green tomatoes for the ones that aren't going to ripen. This is an excellent way to use as much of your tomatoes as possible. The rest of this video is showing you how to freeze your tomatoes for use later. The tomatoes have been on the counter and now they're ready to be processed. Or in this case, I'm going to put them in the freezer to process them later in the season. So I'm just going to inspect them, no bad spots. You can core them, but I find that since you're just sticking them in the freezer, that when they turn to mush, when you put them out of the freezer, it's perfectly fine. The cores aren't really a problem. This one looks pretty good. Just pulling the stems off. You definitely need to remove the stems. I didn't on this one bag I put in the freezer. The thawed tomatoes were a mess and unusable. 1 gallon bag is about what it would take to make a batch of sauce for like spaghetti or something like that. These were already washed before I put them on the counter. We just continue until we're done. I think next time I do this, I'm going to pull the stems off when I put them on the counter to ripen, so I'm not having to pull them off when I want to freeze them. Now we have it. I've sorted all of them, thrown out the bad ones. So unfortunately there's a little bit of loss, but I try to keep that to a minimum, and I'll just pop these in the freezer now. Now I got my tomatoes all tucked into the freezer to be used either as one big batch of sauce later, or I can pull them out one at a time to make a small batch of pasta sauce or chili or what have you. I hope this gives you some ideas as to how to manage your own late season tomato plants and harvest. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. Until next time, be curious, keep an open mind, and never stop learning.